Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah, and here on my channel I post physiotherapy, lifestyle and travel related. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the notification bell to all so you never miss a video. I will be honest with you, coming up with the highs was a lot harder than coming up with my challenges while reflecting on how this year has been for me as a physiotherapist. But I will start with the highs. Start positive, make our way down. So the first high of this year has been the fact that I've been a lot more proactive with my CPD. Now don't get me wrong, all the other years I have been doing like CPD activities, but this year I feel like I've actually been more conscious about it. I kind of spoke on this when I did my video about how I manage CPD during busy rotation, so please check that out, I'll put that in the cards above. But I found now I'm being a bit more, okay, I need to set time to do this, I need to do this, to do that. And so far it's going well, and I'm hoping it doesn't change. So yeah, that's definitely a high for me. The next high, which is probably one that everybody expected, is the fact that my secondment got extended. So if you're new here and you're not sure what I'm talking about, from October 2024 up until June 2025, I was in a band 6 secondment, and absolutely loved it. Like, yeah, I learnt a lot, taught me a lot about myself, which I'll get on to. But the secondment originally was meant to be 6 months, and it got extended by another 2 months to become an 8-month secondment. So very happy about that. The opportunity not only gave me obviously more time to be a band 6, but also within that time, more time of being a band 6, I got to experience working alongside different colleagues with different working styles and learning how to adapt and be a good leader for them in that capacity. So that's, I'd say, the biggest side. That was the easiest one for me to pull out from this year. Another thing I would say, leading on from that secondment, it's taught me that it's helped me recognise that I feel like, or not even I feel like, I know I'm ready to be a band 6 in a permanent capacity. The activities and things that I did in that role definitely highlighted that to me. Obviously there's room for like growth, which is more so for me on the clinical side of stuff, whereas I feel like the non-clinical and the leadership management side of stuff, I feel like I'm at a good place to be a band 6, if you get what I'm saying. So I've got that. Another thing similar to that is through that secondment, it's helped me realise, like, well, not just through the secondment, but rotations I've done in the past and this year, it's helped me realise roughly where I think I want to specialise. And I feel like at this point in time, I'm definitely more of a complex med, like gen med, acute med type physio, less on the rehabby side of things, more so for the pace and the variety of patients you see in cases, etc. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling at this point in time, where I see myself going. But who knows, because I still have more rotations, so we'll see what happens at that time. And also, I'll be honest, I have tried to go for like permanent roles and not been successful in them, but through not being successful in the interviews, I've like kind of spun it in my head to be like, well, okay, yeah, you weren't successful in the interview, but you were shortlisted. So that means you're not delusional in thinking that you have what it takes. You know what I mean? Delusional talking. But those are my highs, I'd say. Definitely those are my highs for this year. Now, moving on to challenges for this year. As I've just said, not having successful band 6 interviews, and that has part to play with obviously how I performed in the interview, but also part to play with like the hiring freeze as well. Things are a lot tougher, a lot more competition. You're gonna go up against amazing people, and like some people know the trust better, or some people just like well more experienced within that role area that it makes more sense to hire them. And that's been a bit difficult because like the feedback I've received from some interviews has been like, yeah, I can improve on these clinical, like my clinical knowledge in these aspects, but then other aspects is like, oh, you're great, but, or if we have more roles, but, you know, and like in the moment it can be a bit frustrating because it's like, oh, you know, but everything happens for a reason. It is what it is. And from that, it's been a challenge in the sense that when I went into my current role as a rotational band 5, I always saw myself for being a band 5 for no more than 18 months. Now, I've been qualified for 2 years now, and yes, 8 months out of those 2 years I wasn't a band 6 secondment, and sometimes it's easy for me to forget that. And when I'm like, oh, I've been band 5 for 2 years, it's so annoying! Because it's never what I wanted for myself. And nothing's wrong with being a band 5 for 2 years, and either way I'm still learning and growing, but it's just not what I expected from myself or saw myself doing. So coming to terms with that has been a challenge, it's been difficult. I'm very much a person who sets loads of goals for myself, even though sometimes they're a bit harsh on myself. And yeah, not gonna lie, when I look back on it, it low-key pees me off that I'm still where I'm at, even though I'm growing. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So yeah, that's still hard. I'm still getting to terms with it. I have my moments where I get very annoyed about where I am currently, in my own professional manner, like professional growth journey, etc. Yeah, and with having worked at the capacity of 6, or being told that like I have certain skill sets, brings me on to my next challenge, is that right now, obviously, after the secondment, I knew that obviously there was a high chance that I was going to come back to being a 5, and I've come back to being a 5. Cool, is what it is. But the difficulty of dropping bands has been, like, partially in my head that people know I'm able to work at a certain capacity, and then band 5s don't have to work at the exact same capacity as band 6. So for me, I've been having this internal battle of, yeah, I could do this, because I know I'm capable of doing this, but also, the job title I'm working under currently is a band 5, and I'm not talking clinical, like doing anything out of scope. I'm talking more in terms of the type of, I won't say energy I bring, but like what I bring to the table. Essentially, I don't want to work at a band 6 level or provide band 6 level me on a band 5 capacity, because I then feel like I'm playing myself. Like, it's a catch-22. You want to show that you're obviously capable of doing certain things at a higher banding and acting as a senior, but then also you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and be a senior on a junior pay or in a junior capacity and then not get recognised for what you're doing, and then you feel like a mug. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a mug, and it's really annoying because I'm like, this isn't my place, but also I know how to do it, and yeah, I can, I wouldn't do anything at the detriment of service, obviously, but it's just really annoying. And then I'm not trying to burn out giving you something that I don't have to give you, And so that is a big thing. That's been a massive challenge this year, post-secondment, which has been a lot of fun. Another thing that I've also had to come to terms with in terms of challenges, obviously after mentioning the fact that I didn't expect to be a band 5 for so long, and I thought I'd be a 6 by now, is recognising that, okay, up to this point I've done the rotations that I really desired to do going in, and the rotations I have left are rotations that I was like, about like not really any words where I was like, cool, about I wasn't like running to be there first, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, did I see myself at the start being in said rotations? No. Am I going to go through them if I'm still here or if I'm still whatever? Yes. Will it help me be a better physiotherapist? Yes. Will it help me identify things about myself? Yes. So I'm kind of come to terms with, you know what, at the end of the day, this is probably what's best for my growth. If I'm here, I might as well do the rotation, obviously, rather than repeating the same ones I've already done. So, cool. That's what's happening. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm not gonna lie. And it could open my eyes, and I could be impressed. Or, I could be like, oh, I was right. Not for me. Or, oh, okay. I'm currently in orthopedics, and for me, going into it, I did elective orthopedics as a student. I was very much like, oh my god, save me. And currently, the orthopedic patients I'm seeing are a good variety of joints, good variety of, I don't say ages because they're roughly a similar age, but a variety of things. that is keeping my interest, that I'm not like yawn. So yeah, so that surprised me. So I'm hoping I'm surprised moving forward as well. And this brings me on to last challenge that I faced. All my other rotations, apart from like these two rehabby rotations that I've done this year, which are like stroke and like ortho, have been like a certain pace, or I've seen a particular amount of patients a day. So going from ortho, not so much, but like going from having my own ward and seeing majority of the patients in the ward each day to 3 or 4 patients because the sessions are longer, like, and more rehab heavy on like stroke, which as you would expect. Even though I expected it, it took me by surprise, being like, oh, I've gone from seeing this many people today to this many people today. And in theory, I've probably provided a lot more benefit to these types of patients than I did to these ones, just because of the things I had to do with them. But for me, I just wasn't feeling as satisfied. So that rotation was a challenge in that sense. But yeah, those are my highs and my challenges of this year as a physiotherapist. I'm hoping 2026 I can provide you with a lot more highs than how easily I can provide you with the challenges. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye guys!